Hi and welcome to the Bearded Thinker 3D printing bunker. Today we are going to disassemble the Ender 3 Pro. It's a little bit dusty since I haven't used it in a while. I was waiting for this upgrade, so let us get cracking. First of all, I need to remove the LCD screen, because under LCD screen we have Raspberry Pi. And now we will disassemble. Okay, we have to get the spool off. I'll cut it, prepare the spool. Okay, so we can remove the spool. And now let us disconnect the mainboard. We now have to dismantle the board. Let me get it a bit out of the way. And let me move the camera. This should be better. Okay, so we're having here, as you can see, this is a printed backplate of the motherboard, because I did put TL smoothers inside. And now we have motherboard cooler and TL smoothers on one side, and original Creality board. This is version 1.1.4. but without silent steppers, of course. So what we'll do now, we will disconnect stepper drivers. And we have to unscrew two bolts to remove the cooler. So let us start ripping parts and cables from the printer. So as we said, we will start with the power supply. we cannot do anything about it at this point. So we will now try and install it as is, and later on worry on how we will once again disassemble everything and exchange parts. We can now start plugging in stepper motors. In order to insert end stops, we will have to remove this part from each end stop. Let us connect those two wires before we proceed. I think the last wire here is done. Let me connect this once again. Do I have a problem here? Well, unfortunately, yep, nope. This should be like this. Other wires should go there. We have everything connected except the Z. And I have to just disconnect this one and push everything inside. Let's now try and put the cover. So we have Raspberry Pi in now, but I will change those wires here for the micro USB, so I can leave my headers free for other stuff. For example, for this relay I will be using to control power of the Ender 3 Pro. Okay, so while I was removing old cables and adding new ones, as I said, I've added micro USB. So I will be using micro USB to power Raspberry Pi, not through headers as before. But I also added this relay that you could have seen in the last opening, mail opening. This relay is now between the power supply and the motherboard with normal open. What normal open means is that if I don't give signal here for relay to activate, this will stay open, so the printer motherboard will not be powered and the printer will be down. But on the other hand, my Raspberry Pi Octoprint can be up and running. Okay, let me just install this. Okay, it wasn't as easy as I was thinking. As you can see, the connector for the micro USB connector is a little bit longer than I expected, so I'll try and use a longer screw here to keep the buck converter in place, because after I inserted everything in, tried to connect it, I was unable to connect, so I had to pull everything out again. Okay, buck converter is now installed, and we have here a relay that I still have to fix so it doesn't move around, and to keep the wires connected. If I move it a lot, I always pull wire out from the Raspberry Pi. Let me fix it and close it. I'll see you in a few seconds. Let's connect the LCD screen. It's here. And fire extinguisher is nearby. Let us turn on the power supply. Okay. Well, this was funny. Octoprint is still starting up. We will now check with Octoprint. I just received a Telegram message that Octoprint is up and running, so this part should be okay. Unfortunately, this is a 24-hour later recording. I was having a lot of issues with the relay. I tried exchanging it because at first I was thinking there was a problem with the relay, but it looks as the relay unfortunately will not work with this in this setup, since relay is using 5 volts of power from the Raspberry Pi for its control board, but also needs a signal wire to trigger the signal for the relay. It looks as though the signal is just too low, so I either would need to exchange the relay for the one that can use 3.3 volt signaling and a 3.3 power, or I would have to use logic level shifter so that I can move logic signaling or logic data from 3 volts up to 5 volts. Okay, now let's exchange the bed springs. At least I hope I can do this without an issue. Okay, so all the bolts are in, and I'll do bed leveling a bit later. We will not be using this anymore. Two, three, four. And 4 more screws. Okay. What I've done yesterday, let me just turn the printer around. Okay, I'll show you. What I've done yesterday, besides playing with the electronics and playing with the firmware, I will show you that footage in a bit. I've also added again a spool with a filament, and I've added runout detector here. It is connected down to the SKR 1.3 motherboard. Now we will start working on the hot end. What we will be doing is installing the Hero Me fan duct, part cooling, with this net on the ventilation, so it will be mounted here. Fan will be going, one fan will be going here, the other part cooling fan will be going here. We'll have a vent here, and this is mount for the LCD. This is mount for the LED lights I will be using. Okay, let us start disassembling this. Let me try from this side. If it doesn't work, I'll just throw everything in a trash can. Then get it back from the trash can and start once again. So, where are we? Stuck. What will be our next step? Remove everything. Why? It doesn't fit. Okay, let me remove everything from here and we'll fall back to the original cooling ventilation. So, this should be it. Let me just pull this off and I'll show you where the problem is. So, okay, if you look at this vent, it should be placed inside like this. But it doesn't fit. It has notch here that I tried to remove with pliers but I couldn't. And also it has a notch here. And due to that I'm unable to insert okay. I'm unable to insert cooler here or vent here, and that's why I can't use it. So this shouldn't be roughed, so I have to find a new file that doesn't have this, and then I'll repeat this process because you have to screw the vent here. You cannot have hole here because the air will be escaping and it will not be going here. So another one bites the dust. Okay, it was nice, it was fun, and it's 80% of the things you should do with your printer. If it works, disassemble it. Fail, then assemble it again. So this, all this is extra, and we should go back to mounting the original cooling block.